There are over 12 classes in Dead Rails, and in today's video, we're going to explain them all. The goal of this video is to help you guys who are new to the game decide where to spend your bonds on which classes, because getting bonds is not easy, and these classes, some of them, are quite expensive, so I don't want you guys wasting your bonds. So that's why you gotta watch this video until the end. I got you guys covered here. And before we get into it, make sure you guys like and subscribe if you want me to carry you in my next live stream. Comment your Roblox username and I'll try to get you guys on my 10-man squad, and we will go for a dub in the next stream that we do for this game. But let's not waste any more time and get on into these classes. So the first one that we got here, boys, is the Doctor. Now this class is actually pretty good because you spawn in with healing items. That's not the best part though, because you can just buy like bandages and those other things pretty cheaply from the different like vendors within the game at the different like towns. So not the biggest deal. It's nice, it helps, it's a good thing. But what's really awesome is you guys can actually revive your teammates by sacrificing half of your own health. So very nice. You don't need to have a bandage on you. So like if you're really good at the game, this Doctor class, you know, could be very clutch. You know, this would be something like I would potentially use to help carry people, because I could easily get you guys back to life if you're pretty bad and you die a lot. So keep that in mind. It's a good class, and it doesn't say like you can't have a gun or anything like that. Of course you could, and you know, just combining that all together, it's just giving you some great abilities. And the best part is it's 15 bonds, super cheap. So the Doctor class, very high, definitely something you guys should get early on, especially if you're really good, or just like being like a healing type player for this type of like role-playing game. Now moving on to the next character, we got the Miner. This guy spawns with coal, so right off the rip there, good for just getting the train up and going and having a lot of fuel. Very nice. Also, it has a headlamp, so for those of you guys that may be having trouble like seeing at night, I know I do sometimes, it's just like impossible. This character kind of comes in clutch. You got this nice little lamp right here, as you guys can see, and you could also easily mine ore, which will help you guys just get more money and potentially more fuel. So pretty solid. It comes with a pickaxe. You know, it's not the best thing in the world, but it could definitely get you going. It's only 15 bonds. I would say that's fairly priced. I wouldn't spend my money on it right away though. That would be one of the like last guys to get. I actually don't even have them. I think I played with someone that did have them. It seemed pretty cool, but once again, there's going to be a lot better classes on this list of, you know, all these ones that we have, the 12 of them here. And this is just something that you should get last. Trust me, guys, avoid this one pretty much at all costs. I mean, you guys could disagree with me, but I don't think it's really worth it. Anyways, moving on to the next one, we got the Arsonist here. This guy pretty much is just a dude. If you guys like fire, this is the guy for you, because you're going to be doing double fire damage. So what does that mean? Well, you're gonna spawn in with a couple Molotovs. If you don't know what those are, it's basically like a little beer bottle with a little rag in it. You light it on fire, you throw it at the enemies, they all explode in a big fiery mess. So if that sounds like something you want to do, well, this is gonna be the role for you, because you're gonna get, you know, 4 of them to start off the game with, and you're gonna have the double damage. So it's just kind of a unique role. I mean, it would be cool for a challenge, I guess, but I mean, I guess it has its, you know, somewhat use, but not the most, you know, like useful thing, I guess I would say, but it's at least somewhat decent, you know what I'm saying? So I don't know, I would probably avoid this one because it does cost 20 bonds, and I mean that's still kind of expensive. So in my opinion, avoid the Arsonist. It's something that you don't really need, but unless you're doing like a fun little challenge with your friends or just a solo challenge, which I'll probably do in the future. So if you guys want to see that, make sure you don't forget to subscribe. We're on the road to 600,000 subs this year. Hopefully we'll hit it. Help your boy get there. It's gonna be an awesome goal to reach. But we got the next one here, guys. This one is where things start getting a little bit more pricey. 50 bonds. So this is the Conductor, guys. This dude is amazing. Every time you play this game, you need to have one person have this class, because they drive the train at a faster speed, which is just super OP. But unfortunately, you know, you don't spawn with the melee weapon, so just that's kind of like a bad thing. But this guy's whole goal is to just drive the train. That's all this guy's got to worry about. Don't do nothing else. This is the one dude's job. Drive that train. You also spawn in with 2 coal, so that's nice. And you get your third one from the $20 that you should get. So pretty good. Good for fueling the train. Good solo class too, honestly. But once again, the bad sign is 50 bonds. That's not cheap to get. However, it's definitely worth it. I would put this high up on my list of like, if you're new to the game, this is something that you know, maybe if you're scared to go out there and, you know, shoot the cowboys, shoot the zombies, shoot the werewolves, you know, whatever you're fighting, you want to just be the trained guy, play that as your role, this is a good guy for you to get. Not for everyone, because, you know, some might say that role is kind of boring, but in my opinion, it's a good class in the game, though, just for that double train speed. It's gonna help you beat the game quicker too. Now let's get on to the next one here, the Alamo. Now this guy is also another one of those dudes where, like, if you want to win in like nightmare mode, or just, you know, even have just a better shot in general, especially when you make it to the 80,000 kilometers, or, you know, in the future, whatever the max kilometers is, when it goes down and all the enemies start rushing the train, this guy is going to allow you to kind of deck out the train with the barbed wire, the metal sheets, and protect not only the driver, but just everyone in general. And you also get a little bit of armor, and then the shovel is just kind of like a base kit type thing. But mainly for the metal sheets, you can kind of put those up on the windows on the train, like in the front there where the driver sits, protect the driver at all costs, and also just kind of maybe put one of the sheets in the back, kind of get some cannons or get some miniguns set up or whatever you want to call them, and boom, you're good to go. And also the barbed wire helps with holding back some of the enemies too. So this guy, not completely necessary, because you could just use the money in the game and just get all these items, but it's still pretty good. However, like I said, there's other classes in here that are just going to be more better. Like for example here, this one has a good passive. The Alamo, just, you know, not good at all. I mean, it's just stuff you could buy. So simple as that. Hopefully that makes sense. And it's 50 bonds, not really worth 50 bonds, boys. But let's get on to the next one here, which I think I skipped the high roller, which let me just double check here. Yeah, that's my bad right there. Wait, actually, no, I don't think I did. Never mind, my bad, boys. We're on the high roller now. So that was the Alamo, the one we just went over. That's also one of the ones I would skip. So pretty much all these ones so far, the doctor's a good buy. Also, the conductor's a good buy. And these ones are so far the only ones that I would really recommend for a newer player. But we got the high roller next. This one, basically you collect money bags for 1.5x more, but you're 10x more likely to be struck by lightning. And if you do get struck by lightning, you die. So just keep that in mind. Is it rare? You know, a little bit. Obviously, if it's 10 more times likely, well, it might happen to you a couple of times in the game and you will die instantly. So don't use this class if you're playing solo. Bad idea. But if you are playing with a group of friends, someone should like grab this guy, because it's a good passive. You guys just give all the valuables to this dude. He'll have all the money, make more money for your team in general. He could buy the ammo, he could buy the fortifications, just like kind of makes like the Alamo character useless. This guy's really good. Someone on your team, so far, I would recommend having a doctor, a conductor, and definitely a high roller, just for all these different passives that we could have and just make our team just in general a lot better. Not too much to say about this guy. He is 50 bonds, so a little bit more expensive. Definitely get the conductor over him, but if you want to be the guy that gets the team the money, then go for it. Now, next up here, this is the one I actually bought first in the game, the cowboy. You spawn in with the revolver. So right there, if you don't have Robux to spend in the game, boom, you got a gun right off the rip every single time you play the game, and you get a bunch of ammo. And on top of that, you get a whole horse with the saddle. So straight up right then and there, you guys, you know, the train leaves you behind while you're chilling. You just ride the horse to the end and you're good. Also kind of helps you, you know, if you get stuck at night, you can just pop the horse out real quick, put the saddle on, and boom, get going. So this class though, if you're not like a PvP god and you're not hitting your headshots with your rifle, your pistol, or whatever, not the guy for you guys. Stick to the train. Just put a chair welded to the train, sit on the train, or you can even weld the horse to the train. Not a bad idea, but this way, having a cowboy on your team, it's really good solo role, and also it could help out your team get an extra gun for free right at the start. However, there's no good passive, so depending on what type of player you are, you might want to have that extra passive on your team, like what your friends have, kind of base it off that. Like I said, so far, you kind of want that high roller conductor doctor combo. This cowboy, it's nice, but it doesn't provide any good passives, so just keep that in mind. Now, let's get on to the next one here. So the lower your health, the more damage you do. This guy, the survivalist, I mean, it's 75 bonds. That's a lot of bonds, and I mean, this guy doesn't do all that much. Just hit your shots, guys. That's all I could say. You get a tomahawk and a shovel. You don't get any good starting items, and your passive is honestly not that good, because in general, you don't want to have low health, right? So you're not going to sit there at low health the whole entire game. That would just kind of be a little silly. I recommend, if you're newer especially, stay with this guy. It's a lot of bonds, way too expensive, overpriced 100%, and the passive isn't even that good, so avoid the survivalist at all costs. All right, now let's get on to the vampire. So this one, you get increased movement speed and melee damage, which is really good. See that right there, great passive so far. But you take damage in direct sunlight, so that is something a little sketch. However, starting item wise, you get the vampire knife. You guys know what the vampire knife is? This is actually something they used to have back on Terraria. If you ever played that game, you might know. This knife, essentially, every time you get a hit with it, you kind of steal your enemy's health. So, super OP. It's just kind of annoying because you're going to take damage in the sunlight. That sucks. But you could just keep going, like sit in the train, drive all the way, hopefully stay out of the sun. And, you know, every time it turns night, then you kind of go off. You're never going to die because you're moving quicker, so you can outrun your enemies for the most part. And then your melee damage is increased. Plus, you're getting health from your melee damage. So, all around, the vampire, pretty good purchase. He might be my next buy. I'm going to be honest with you. I like melee, like characters in games like this. I might go for him soon. I'm not going to lie. That's a pretty cool ability, pretty cool character. Definitely going to scoop him up when I have the bonds in order to do that. Should I make a bonds guide, guys? Like on how to get bonds super quick? Let me know in the comments. We could definitely get that out because I've only been playing the game for a couple days and I already got a lot of bonds. I just spent them all, but it is what it is. We can get them back real quick because we know how to do it. So let me know if you guys want to see that, and I will surely make a video like that real soon. But let's get on to the next one, the priest. This one is okay, I guess. You're immune to lightning strikes. Like, I guess, like, that's okay. You'll never die from a random lightning storm. When I played and beat the game, I never even seen, I don't think maybe seen one lightning strike. That's it. So, kind of a silly one here. Not really worth it. The crucifix that you get, 2 of them there at the start of the game, it's kind of nice. And the holy water is kind of nice too. But 75 bonds, you could have the vampire, which is much more strong passively, like, you know, ability wise. Avoid this one, I'd say. Don't get the priest, guys. Not really worth it. You could also find the holy water and crucifixes, I believe, in the game, just in general. So, not really good starting items there either. Avoid that one, boys. Now, next up, we got the zombie. This guy's crazy. You could eat dead bodies to replenish health, but it's the same price as a vampire. However, you have to kill the zombies and eat them, whereas the vampire, you just have to hit them with a knife, and you're moving faster and doing more damage. So, kind of crazy. And with this dude, too, you can't use bandages or snake oil. But at least you're less detected by enemies, but still, it doesn't matter. This guy is really not that good. It's 75, very expensive. Stay away from the zombie. Not worth it. Now, we got the most expensive class here, the ironclad. This guy, as you can see, super heavily armored here. But bad part about that, you move a little bit slower. So if you're trying to run away from guys, well, don't do that. You got to go into the fights and take them on head to head here because, well, you're spawning in with a full-on, you know, suit of armor. So your whole job basically is a team tank, and I mean, you got to get in the fights. So it's kind of, you know, like, yeah, it's definitely good, but once again, boys, you are not getting a good passive from this guy. So just keep that in mind. Like, there's no ability or, like, you know, passive ability that you're getting. You just get the free armor, which you could get from playing the game and just, you know, like, let's say, for example, here, you're the high roller. You get the more money, just buy your, you know, armor for your team and for yourself, and boom, there you go. And you still have that cool ability. Or if you're the doctor, you know, whatever. So the ironclad being 100 bonds, not worth it in my opinion. I'd stay away from him. Is it good? Yeah, but once again, these different, like, passive abilities, it all comes down with these classes, guys. Check your team, ask them what they're using, and mix and match your passive abilities. You definitely want to have a vampire. A priest would be okay if, you know, you have extra guys, but primarily vampire. Definitely not a survivalist. That is kind of goofy. But the high roller would be great to have. You just give them all your, like, good loot and valuables, let them sell it, get the money for you. Obviously, you kind of have to coordinate that with a good team. If you're playing with randoms, that won't work. They're just going to steal your stuff and not probably buy you anything. But, you know, maybe it could work. You know, you never know. But definitely try it with your friends. Definitely get the conductor, because this will, you know, this guy's just going to be driving the train. Simple as that. Goes faster. And then the doctor is going to be good for healing. Like, just have this doctor dedicated to healing your team regardless. Just have all the bandages on this guy. Don't even, like, bother buying them. Let this guy handle that, and you're golden. Okay? That's all you got to do, basically. So there's, like, 4 that you should get. The doctor, conductor, high roller, and vampire. Other than that, the other guys, just buy them, I guess, once you have these 4 or 5. And then go from there, because the other ones are kind of a waste of bonds. So that is my little, hopefully good video on explaining the classes to y'all. I know some of y'all maybe kind of, be more pro than me in this game, but I'm playing this game for a little bit now. We have beaten it, and that's kind of what I could take away from the game. That's what makes sense to me, and I think that this video will hopefully have helped you guys out and make a good choice when it comes to spending your bonds, because I know they're not easy to get, if you're new at least, and some of y'all might just buy the bonds with, Robux. I get that too. So if you're buying the bonds with Robux, then still listen to the guide. Definitely buy the ones I said. But at the end of the day, guys, I hope the video helped you out. If it did, leave a like, drop a sub. We're on the road to 600,000 subs. Let's try to get there by the end of the year, boys. Thank you so much. Let's get that goal over with and done with. All right, we got this. I believe it. And once we get to 600K, we can finally change our color of our merch to, I don't know. Let me know in the comments what color we should make our next merch, guys. Maybe orange? I don't know. We'll see, boys. We'll see. But thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Adios.